As I said, today is our Generosity Sunday. And the recipient this month is the Kalamazoo Literacy Council. The Kalamazoo Literacy Council, its mission is to enhance the lives of adults by improving their reading, writing, spelling, and comprehension skills, and to empower them to reach their full potential. In Kalamazoo County, 25,000 people, or 1 in every 8 adults, struggle to read, which means they're not able to apply for jobs, manage their health, or help their children learn. In fact, research shows that children of parents with low literacy levels have a 72% chance of being at the lowest level of reading themselves. All Kalamazoo Literacy Council services are free, and through an ever-expanding array of programs, volunteers are currently serving hundreds of learners across the region through a virtual learning center and in-person classes. Over the years, several UUCC members and friends have experienced the joy of making a difference by being involved with the Kalamazoo Literacy Council. This dynamic organization will benefit your donations, but it also seeks volunteers to assist in a variety of programming needs. Joining us today is the Kalamazoo Literacy Council Executive Director, Michael Evans, and the Adult Learning Services Navigator, Rose Fetzer, who will tell us more about this local nonprofit organization and how they impact learners in our community.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Evans. I'm the Executive Director of the Kalamazoo Literacy Council, and with me is Rose Fetzer, our Adult Learning Services Navigator. We thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you this morning about the topic of literacy, particularly the impact literacy has on adults and their families in our community. I want to first give you a functional definition that comes from United Nations about what literacy is so that we can put this conversation into proper context. Literacy is the ability to read, write, compute, and use technology at a level that empowers people to reach their full potential as parents, as employees, and as community members. Our vision, as you've heard, is to empower adults to reach their full potential through literacy. I'll ask you this question: is it possible to reach your full potential as a parent, as an employee, or as a community member if you lack these important literacy skills? How can you reach your parenting skills if you lack those skills, or become a successful job seeker if you lack those skills, or manage your health if you lack literacy skills? You know that we've been talking about that number of 25,000 adults in Kalamazoo County who struggle to read. That is still a statistic that staggers me and provokes me in many ways. And we hope that you will join us in our effort to achieve a fully literate community by helping them to reach their goals. Our organization has been serving this mission since 1974. I want to tell you briefly about why people come to us. When people come to the Kalamazoo Literacy Council, it's not just to learn how to read. They're usually coming because they have something very important in their lives that they're trying to change. We say, and we know, that everyone needs to read to help their children learn. We know this because early childhood education begins at home with a mom, dad, grandma, or someone who can read. And those children who are born to adults with low literacy skills are 72% chance to repeat that cycle without someone helping. We know that everyone needs to read to get a job. In other words, it doesn't matter how great you are with your hands, you have to first be able to prove it on paper with the resumes, cover letters, computer skills, and be able to speak eloquently about the work experience that you have in such a way that an employer can see you as an effective member on their team. And especially in these very challenging times, we know that everyone needs to read to manage their health. We know that in order to fill out the health applications, understand your eligibility, or even be able to sign up for vaccinations if you choose to, that literacy skills are incredibly important. And when those learners come to our doors, every single time we say, yes, we have free services that can help you, that are driven primarily by volunteers and supported 100% by the generosity of our community. So I hope that you share the view that literacy is more than just a dispensable skill. Dispensable skills are like what I used to have in high school when I was a basketball player. I'm sure none of you lament the fact that I no longer can slam dunk a basketball, I'm sure. But literacy is a type of skill that evolves and is elevated to something that feels more like a right, if you believe it, and from a social justice perspective is considered to be so. And if that is true, if 25,000 adults struggle to read in our community, we should care if even one is unable or deprived of the ability with literacy, if it is more like a right and less like a skill. Kalamazoo Literacy Council, we embrace our mission by providing a broad range of programs that meet the needs of adult learners and their families. From one-on-one tutoring, English as a second language, we have jobs programs, parent literacy, health literacy, financial literacy, and even a virtual learning center that helps to meet the needs of adult learners all throughout our community through virtual learning. So I've tried to share a little bit of why we do what we do, and I'm so glad that you've allowed us the opportunity. But the urgency now is, what are you going to do about it? If there are 13% of our adult population who struggle to read, there are many opportunities to serve, and Rose, she will share those opportunities with you.
Thanks, Michael. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Rose. I'm the Adult Learning Services Navigator at the Kalamazoo Literacy Council. The population that I help to serve are adults who already speak English and who are wanting to enhance their literacy skills or get a GED. So that's an equivalent to a high school diploma, if anyone's ever heard of a GED or maybe not. Also learners who are looking to get a job and learn computer skills. I have two other coworkers who are direct learner facing. One serves our English as a second language population. So I know this is huge in Kalamazoo. We have a very, very diverse population. We're very lucky to have a diverse population. And then I have another coworker who's coming on board shortly, and her primary focus is to serve parents. We talked about that essential connection between parents having literacy skills and being able to pass that on to their children. So that will be her focus. This is our contact information. We'll have a slide at the end as well. So if you'd like to jot this down, if not, we can certainly send it out to you as well. Okay, the Kalamazoo Literacy Council is volunteer-led and staff-supported. So what that means for us is that our volunteers are our absolutely most essential resource. They are the ones who are meeting primarily with learners. They are sharing these essential literacy skills. They're teaching classes, they're with them one-on-one. They're helping run our community literacy centers as we're working to get them back on site. They are doing a bunch of jobs for us. Special shout out to Kathy Hayes. She is one of our writing instructors. Kathy, I hope you're on the call today. And Nancy Kalme, thank you so much, both of you, for being a part of the Kalamazoo Literacy Council. Okay, so here are a few opportunities that we have right now. I won't read through the whole slides, but here they are. One is our literacy tutor. So this is going to be our primary job description or volunteer description, and this is the meeting with a learner one-on-one. Right now, with COVID, we have learner tutor pairs meeting in all different ways. We have some of them meeting all online, like what we're doing right now. We have some who are meeting in person. Maybe they're vaccinated and they feel like that is appropriate for them. So as long as there's agreement between the tutor and the learner, they can meet and learn however they would like, as long as it's in a public place outside of anybody's home, and it works for both of them. So literacy tutor, primary one. We have a huge need in Kalamazoo for upping digital skills of everybody. I don't know if anyone felt a little bit behind taking this huge digital shift, but imagine that, but tenfold for a lot of our learners who maybe haven't ever accessed a computer. So having those skills to be able to navigate computers, huge one for us. We have a class that's online and we have a class that's in person. And even as you're tutoring one-on-one with the learner, is a huge skill to be able to possess and then be able to pass on, even just as like a basic, on a basic rudimentary level. We have a read and seed volunteer, which will be working out in the garden. We have a community garden. We call Michael Farmer Mike in the summer, in the spring, and the fall, when he's out in the back working on the garden. He has that skill set that he's been able to provide for us and for our community. And we certainly need more help if anyone likes to garden. And talk about gardening and talk about these basic things for our learners. We also have another writing instructor that we would love to have come on board. Right now, Kathy is with a different learner, or a different tutor, pardon me. Her name is Bonnie, and Bonnie is pulling double duty. So we'd love to have an extra support there. Okay, this is my second slide. Another huge piece for us is Casa's test proctoring. What that would look like is you would assist in this really essential piece for us. Casa's testing is how we measure skills gains for our English as a second language population. So it helps them to know which is the best English as a second language level classes to be in, and helps them move along their learning path in a really thoughtful and useful way for them. That way they're not repeating something that they may already know, because it's frustrating to be in a level that's too low, but it's also frustrating to be in a level that's too high. So this testing is really important for us, and it's a major need. Be a discussion group leader, another ESL English as a second language class. This is to lead discussion groups. It's so important to have the opportunity when you're learning a foreign language to speak it with a group of people who are also learning. You can make mistakes, you can experiment, you can kind of joke around. So it's important to be able to have that both very formal and then a little bit of a more informal experience. We also have our English as a second language level 1 class assistant. Our ESL level 1 learners all of our ESL learners are extremely passionate and thoughtful and excited to learn English. So, and the level 1 learners are of the most need. So that is a huge need for us. And then English as a second language literacy tutor. It's one of our goals to have all of our English as a second language learners have a one-on-one tutor. This is a huge way for them to be able to improve their skills, to have that one-on-one tutoring, in addition to them being able to go to class and discussion groups and just participate in English language learning as much as possible. So I'm going to stop sharing and send it back over to Michael.
And we do hope that you have some understanding of the immediate need and the urgency behind supporting literacy, particularly for those who are adult learners in our communities, whether they're native English speakers who dropped out of high school and are coming back, they will need help, or if they're refugees recently resettled in our community, they will need your help. Or if they're just individuals who have the need to improve those very critical skills, reading, writing, spelling, comprehension, using the computer, to be empowered to reach their goals. We do hope that you would consider joining us. And we certainly thank you for the opportunity of sharing your morning with us so that we can share a little bit more about the perspective of the learners we serve and the urgency that we have in this community to help everyone to be able to read, because we believe in a fully literate community, and we hope you will help us to achieve it. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Michael and Rose. And if you would like to make a donation to our collection for the Kalamazoo Literacy Council and support the very important work that they're doing in our community, you may mail a check to our building, you may give electronically through our church website, or you can give using the Vanco mobile app on your smartphone or tablet. And please be sure to put Generosity Sunday in the memo line of your check, or choose Generosity Sunday in the menu when giving electronically. Your donations are sincerely appreciated.